Despite what we hear across the world.
Exactly. And also with the vaccination that has kicked in, it seems that, and also because we are not seeing as many deaths in our part of the world like elsewhere. In fact, the last news item I should have read, India has recorded the highest deaths in a single day so far. That's 400,000 new cases, and 3,689 people have died in 24 hours.
Right. So let's take it serious. Thanks, Ernest, for the news. And remember, COVID-19 is still here with us. Despite all the safety precautions and measures, take care of yourselves and each other. Ultimate Health in Effect on Joy 99.7 FM with me, Nortey by nature. I don't even want to say extinguish all cigarettes. Do they still exist? Time for Ultimate Health, your ultimate guide to healthy living. Listen every Sunday, 2:05 with me, Nortey by nature. On your dial of distinction and discernment, 99.7 FM can only be joy. I'm in the seat, it's my turn to burn. Happy Workers' Day. To all workers and all of us who contribute to lives and livelihoods. Let me play this one by Eternal featuring BB Winans and come back to the business of the day. Managing ergonomics and posture to enhance productivity and well-being. Oh, that can only happen if he's the only one in charge. Let him be the only one. To all you workers out there, yesterday, May 1st, was Workers' Day, where we celebrate workers. What are the things you need to know? Apply and adhere to protect your health and maximize productivity. Today I have in the studio with me Dr. Na Ashele Dodo, chiropractic physician and CEO of Nova Wellness Center. We're looking at managing workplace ergonomics and posture to enhance productivity and wellness. So did you ever consider or reckon that the way you sit and the way your workplace, your roles and tasks are configured can have an impact on your health and well-being? What are the key things you need to know to secure that and make sure that your work is indeed healthy and not toxic to your health? That's what we're discussing on Ultimate Health today with Dr. Na Ashele Dodo, consultant chiropractor and CEO. Your posts are too many now. That's why I'm suffering. Good afternoon.
Hi, Nortey.
How are you doing? It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Right. And I'm just checking out your posture. Is it our chair or everything's cool?
So the chair is kind of forcing me to
It's
sit
forcing you.
in this posture.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I will not force you to assess our furniture, but it's great to have you on the program this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Right. And how's Nova Wellness doing?
Excellent.
Gosh,
We're
I
doing
read
great.
something, and you guys had acquired some jazzy equipment and stuff. What is it? A
Yes.
spine
So it's a non-surgical spinal decompression machine.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, and it does jiggy with
So-
the spine.
What it does is it decompresses the disc in between the spinal bones and the lumbar spine. Again, we're talking about ergonomics today,
Right.
and a lot of the things that we do to our bodies, bad posture, the way we lift, and all that, sometimes we develop disc disease, especially in the lumbar spine.
Okay.
So what the machine does is to very gently elongate the spine to reduce any disc bulges. If you've been to the hospital before,
It will stretch.
so it would elongate the spine, and then it elongates, contracts. That way, the bulging disc is pulled back towards the center
Okay.
and away from the nerve.
So
to
the same
reduce
way,
pain.
the same way I'll take my vehicle for alignment and balancing at the vulcanizer.
Similar.
You're doing something
Yes.
mechanically,
Very
right?
good. Yes. So
Right.
we've been doing it with our hands for
Manually.
a long time manually, but technology is taking us to new places. So we have decided to invest in this machine
Right.
that also complements chiropractic care and what we're already doing,
Okay.
especially for people who have severe lower back pain, sciatica, and conditions of that nature.
Right, great stuff. And this machine is here now, and you have it
Yes.
at Nova.
Yes.
I know you've been working towards this, and you had to go through all the regulatory processes.
Yes.
It's been cleared, and you
Yes.
have it, and you're using it.
Yes, sir. It's been approved by the FDA
Okay.
of Ghana, so we have started operating it, and glory be to God, we're getting some great results.
Okay.
It's still conservative care, so
Right.
if you're torn between having surgery or other treatments for
Right.
lower back pain, you may come in
This is
and
an
let's
alternative
see.
therapy.
Yes, it's an alternative treatment. Let's see if you'll be a good candidate.
Okay, great stuff. So let's dig into what we wanted workers in particular to know about. Ergonomics, this whole science of matching human factors and then the whole configuration of the workplace, man-machine relationships, right?
Yes.
Am I right? That's what it is.
That's what ergonomics is.
Right.
Yes. The relationship between the worker and their workspace and the things within their space that they use on a daily basis.
On a daily,
to work.
regular basis to accomplish the work tasks.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Why is this an important area of science anyway?
It's extremely important because if you're going to be in this position for 10, 20, 30 years before you retire,
Okay.
then obviously whatever happens there will have a big effect on you. So if you have good ergonomics, if you have your workstation suited to you, some people are tall, some people are short, some people are big, some people are small. So it's very important that your workstation suits you and your capabilities and your
Right.
duties so that you will be healthy whilst doing your daily task. Otherwise, what happens is by the time you retire, or maybe even before you retire, you realize that you start developing all sorts of ailments. And unfortunately, a lot of these things come up because of the things we're doing on a daily basis at work.
Okay, so what Dr. Na, I like calling her Dr. Na, right? It's a bit like Dr. Phil. But what she's saying essentially is that the way your workplace and your workspace is set up has an impact on your health and well-being and ultimately your productivity at work and your general overall wellness, right?
Exactly, yes.
So your work, in fact, work should be healthy.
It should be healthy
Right.
because we're actually spending between 8 to 10 hours
Okay.
of the day at work. So outside of the time you're sleeping, which is 6, 8 hours, the majority of your day, at least Monday to Friday for most people. For some people, Monday to Sunday,
Okay.
are spent doing work
Okay.
or doing activities.
Okay.
So it's very, very important,
important.
that that's done in a healthy way.
Okay, I've got $1 million question for you, and I'm sure my listeners will be interested. But does the average typical employer, does the average employer invest anything in setting up the workplace whilst taking into consideration these factors, how the arrangement, seating, lighting, and other things, the positioning of equipment and all that? Does the average employer, invest any interest in this at all?
So, in our part of the world, in my experience, I'll say not too much. I haven't seen too many employers that are customizing workstations to individuals.
Okay.
I see a lot of general or one size fits all
Okay.
type of workstations. So same chairs, same tables, sometimes even the glare or where the windows are
Okay.
in relation to where your monitors will be. All these things need to be considered
Okay.
before putting somebody in there. But in our part of the world, no, I don't see too many. There are some, but I don't see too many employers taking a lot of interest in this particular area.
Okay, great stuff. If you just joined us, it's about 18 minutes past the hour of 2 on Joy 99.7 FM. The program, as always, on a Sunday afternoon is Ultimate Health, your ultimate guide to healthy living with me, Nortey by nature. I'm in the lovely company of Dr. Nashele Dodo. She's a consultant chiropractor and CEO of the Nova Wellness Center. We're looking at the impact of the configuration, right? The arrangements at work of equipment and human beings, personnel, and how that impacts ultimately on your health, your overall health over time, right? Some of these things develop over a long time, and she's the, should I say, requisitely qualified professional to talk to us about these kinds of things. And we'll be looking at some tips and even how you can go through a checklist for your workplace and the kind of things you should be aware of and adhering to. If you have any questions, concerns, WhatsApp is 055 11 997. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, and shortly I will activate the phone lines so you can speak to her directly for free. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she does charge, but me, I have influence. So let me also stretch this a bit before we go into the details. What about informal work? If I'm a seamstress, I sell kelewele, what? I drive Uber, and other things. Should I be worried about these things we're talking about, or is it just for those in offices with monitors and screens? And I'm just looking at the arrangement here. Don't assess my cockpit, right? But those who sew, those who are welders and whatnot, should they be listening to this and taking any serious attention?
100%.
Right.
Ergonomics is for everybody.
Okay.
I say that even if you're at home, let's say you are a housewife, how you cook, are you sitting on those short stools? That's ergonomics.
Right. The famous kitchen
the kitchen
stool.
stool, exactly. Yes. So all that is ergonomics. I
Right.
have a lot of patients who are hairdressers, for instance.
Okay.
Because of the nature of their work, they have to sometimes keep their shoulders up. They're braiding hair. They're putting their bodies in weird positions. They're washing hair. People of different heights. The way they even place their scissors and are they twisting to pick the things they
Okay.
need? So all that. So everybody, even if you're in the market selling,
Right.
market women,
Right.
where do you sit?
How do you sit?
How do
right?
you sit?
And
How long do you sit for? All that
whether you're
is
selling
part
Kobe
of
tomatoes or
it
Gary.
doesn't matter at all.
Right.
All the activities that you're doing whilst you do your work is part of ergonomics. So
Okay.
everybody can do better as far as their ergonomics is concerned.
Okay, whether you're selling Indomie, Chibom, or whatever, take this seriously. Okay, so what kind of things, or let me just step down again. We've defined what ergonomics is, right? And the things we take into consideration, right? But when we say posture, what do we mean specifically by posture?
So posture is a very simple word. How your body resists gravity, whether you are stationary or whether you are mobile.
Okay.
Are you upright or are you in a compromised position? Are
Okay.
you sleeping? Are you sitting? All that is what we put together as posture.
How your body
is the
resists.
way your body resists gravity,
I like
because
that.
you know that gravity is always pulling you down.
Okay.
So how you are able to resist that force
Okay.
is posture.
Posture. Right. And so I take it that that means that there is ideal or optimum posture and there's negative or should I say undesirable posture that will
is
have
correct.
Right.
That's correct.
So tell us a bit about how we should I say check for ourselves whether our posture is good.
So posture, as far as the spine is concerned, is very, very simple. Your spine should be as much as possible upright.
Okay.
So let's say if you're sitting down, as I'm sitting today, you're sitting.
Right.
Imagine your backbone or your spine maintaining that straight, upright posture or that straight alignment.
Okay.
That is good posture.
Right.
The minute you start to bend or slouch,
incline or slouch.
or sometimes you extend your back backwards,
Right.
then or you even bend left or right, then you're going out of your neutral posture.
You're deviating from that.
Yes, you're going
Ideal.
out of the ideal posture.
Right.
So even when you're sleeping, you can still have ideal posture or wrong posture. For instance, a lot of people enjoy sleeping on their stomachs. So when you do that, first of all, to avoid suffocation, you ultimately have to
You turn your head to the
turn
side.
your head to one side. So
Okay.
if you're sleeping for 6 to 8 hours in that bad posture, you realize that that puts a lot of pain or stress in the neck.
Okay.
Then also, people sit with their legs crossed. That puts some stress on the pelvic or hip area. People sit with, we talked about the rolled shoulders.
Okay.
People stand and then they put more weight on one side or either the left or the right leg instead of having an even weight
should
on
be
both.
balanced.
It should be balanced.
Wow.
So all these are examples of proper and improper posture.
Okay, 24 minutes past the hour of 2 on Joy 99.7 FM. I'm feeling a bit awkward because I'm slightly inclined towards my equipment and my all the different, should I say, mice and monitors and, oh gosh, right. I don't want now to come and assess. But this tells me that a trained professional can assess a workspace or space in which we spend a considerable amount of time and give us some kind of feedback as to whether it will have a negative or other impact on our health and well-being.
That's correct. So, certified ergonomists are people who would typically do that. And I've had the pleasure of doing a lot of assessments for many corporations here in Ghana. We go in, we look at the workstation, especially I would say I've done more of what we call the desktop workers. So
Right,
those
workstations.
Who, yes,
Yeah?
those who are working with computers, and we are able to look at the position of their monitors, their keyboards,
All right.
the mouse, their chair, how good their chair is, the table. And then we also look at their habits
Okay.
during their work day. So are they sitting for long hours? Do they take frequent breaks? Are they active, during work? Because there's a way to remain active and not be sedentary. Most of the time when we hear the word sedentary, we're thinking about somebody who's stuck on their couch,
Right.
or what we call a couch potato.
Right.
But research is showing that these days people are more sedentary at work,
Oh.
because they get there, they sit in
And you
their
sit.
offices and they sit in their chairs, and 6, 7, 8 hours they may not get up, or they may take a washroom break, and then they are right at it again. So
Right.
that is sedentary lifestyle at work.
At work.
And so we need to break that. We need to be active whilst working, and that will even make you more effective.
Okay, if you just tuned in, that's what we're talking about. Workplace configuration, or the big bro for is ergonomics, right? But basically, how the space within which you work on a regular basis is set out, and whether this would affect your posture and ultimately your health and well-being, and indeed your productivity, right? My guest in the studio, Dr. Nashele Dodo of Nova Wellness. She's a chiropractor by profession, and we're looking at some of these things. They're a combination of physical, psychological, sociological factors that are taken into consideration while setting up a workplace to make sure it remains healthy and not toxic, so to speak, to your health. If you have any questions, concerns, WhatsApp is 055 11 11 997, and shortly we'll activate the phone lines. I do believe we are live on Facebook and YouTube as well. We like to remain interactive, and actually we are here because of you. So make sure you send in your questions. I can see somebody texting. Oh gosh, right. Aibenyi Dogbeda. It's always a mouthful for me. And he's in Nungwa. And he says, okay, this is more about, yeah? Oh, good afternoon or good day, Nortey and Miss Na. I'm Aibeni Dogbeda from Nungwa. I have a lady friend who suffers from severe waist pain. Somebody told us it may be due to a clot around her spine, clot, and she was advised to go for a scan to know exactly what the problem could be, but she's scared. Any advice for her, and how can we get in touch with you? Okay, thanks for sharing that on behalf of your friend, and I'm sure Miss Na will take care of that. This one says, Norte, I suggest your guest to liaise with Uber and Bolt to have some form of care for the drivers, because we the drivers drive so many hours a week. Please, can she tell us how we can reduce back pain due to driving? This is from Kuku in Accra. Great stuff, and great to know you're connected to Ultimate Health on Joy 99.7 FM. Keep them coming. 055 11 11 997. I almost said Nana. 7. Right, so now this lady with some form of back trouble and is being told it could be related to a blood clot.
There are so many things that can cause back pain or waist pain, as he said. So it's difficult to tell what exactly is causing this
Right.
lady's problem, but I would strongly recommend that she has it evaluated. Definitely some scans may be required.
Okay.
You'd have to do a history to determine what scans would be necessary.
Okay.
Could it be an X-ray, a CT scan? It could be an MRI.
Basically, body imaging.
Yes,
Right.
you need to do some form of imaging to
Right.
see exactly. And those imagery or diagnostics are not anything to be scared of.
Okay.
So I would strongly recommend that his friend goes in and has it checked, because like I said, there are so many things that can cause back pain.
Right.
Although most of it, or most musculoskeletal pain, is from misalignments or posture-related issues. There
Okay.
are other things that can cause it too.
Okay.
So that's why it's important that she's evaluated.
Great stuff. Get her checked out. And the scan is just basically taking a picture of the body, or the internal situation in the body. Okay, many people hear scan and think that in itself is a treatment or a diagnosis, right? It just allows us to see
See what's
what's going on done, and there are various levels of or types of body imaging, right? CT scan, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, and so many of those ones. Good afternoon, Nortey. Please ask for me. Is it necessary for companies to employ an ergonomist? Is that the right word?
Ergonomist.
Right,
Yes.
ergonomists,
Yes.
right? He had typed ergonomics and I was dodging it, right? Or is consulting enough? So do they need one on site as a regular full-time member of staff, or this is something you consult and then you get the expertise and the reports and assessments and act on them? I was
That's-
going to ask you
okay.
earlier whether after all your assessments you see that the companies actually
Improve on
improve or take your recommendations into account.
Yeah, so what we typically do is to go back
Mm-hmm.
after we've done the assessments, we've given them their reports. So
Mm-hmm.
we give them some time to do the implementation.
Okay.
And then we go back sometimes 2 to 3 months' time to check what they've been able to do
Okay.
without being on
Right.
the back of their head. So
Okay.
yes, to answer his question, it depends mainly on the size of the company. If you have 100 to 200 employees, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have an ergonomist on the ground to make sure, because that's a large number of people, to make sure that people who are existing workers are doing the right thing. And then most importantly, when you have new entrants who
Right.
come in as they start, it will be good to have your ergonomist go through with them, check their posture, check their chair, look at their heights, and be able to tailor or customize their workstation to them. So if you have a bigger company, yes, I would recommend that. If it's a smaller company, you can have a consultant come in a couple of times a year to check and assess and report. And then within departments, for instance, what I recommend is to have at least one person in each department who is kind of the posture prefect, so
Alright.
to speak, who would make sure that everybody is doing the right thing.
Okay. In some of the organizations I work with, they have health and safety ambassadors and things
Exactly.
like that. They've gone through
Exactly.
workshops and trainings and they look
Exactly.
out for these things.
Right.
Okay. Before we get into the direct tips again, let me ask, is there any aspect of this which is governed by law and policy? Why must the company listen to you? I mean, why must they invite you and pay you consultation? Is there anything that secures a safe workplace when it comes to ergonomics by way of our laws and policies?
So I know that there's labor laws
Okay.
that every country is supposed to abide by.
Okay.
When it comes to implementation,
There's a challenge.
Yes, as with a lot of things in our country, that becomes a problem. So
Okay.
I know that there are groups that are really taking this on with the Ministry of Employment.
Okay.
I know of Ghana Institute of Safety and Health
Safety,
Professionals or
occupational,
something like
right.
that, GISEP. I know that they are in consultation with the Ministry of Employment to bring some of these issues to the front
Okay.
and to help with the implementation.
Okay.
Because at least in my little experience, I've seen all sorts of things in companies where people are supposed to be working,
Right.
but there's nobody who is making sure that the right thing is done.
Okay.
Now, in the Western world, for instance, there's something called workman's compensation.
Right.
You know, God forbid if something happens to somebody due to your negligence as an employer.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars. So
Right.
because of that, every employer, at least in America, where I worked for a bit, I can
Right.
say, you know, you cannot give somebody a bad chair to
Right.
work on.
So essentially,
because-
you are obliged as an employer to take all this into
Absolutely.
consideration
Absolutely.
and actually employ it in the setup of the workplace. And
It's-
if an employee has health-related problems or challenges due to deficiencies in this,
Then
you
you're
are
in
liable.
trouble. You are totally liable.
Wow.
And it costs companies thousands of dollars
Okay.
if things don't go well. So
Okay.
I think that as we continue to grow as a nation.
But also, it's a collective responsibility.
It's a collective
Because you can put
responsibility.
in place the right structures and the right furniture and all arrangements,
But the
and you have
employee-
employees who are not doing or working
the right thing.
Right. Okay.
That is also very true.
Right.
So there's a personal responsibility that also comes to play, because your employer can produce the best chairs and the best tables, but if you still don't sit well, it's difficult for your employer to come and hold your spine and make sure that you're keeping it upright. It's not possible.
Compress it for you.
Yes.
Hey!
So as much as your employer has to provide the basic structures
Right.
in place so that you're safe, you as the employee have a responsibility
All
as
right.
well.
Protect and secure your own health and well-being. We're discussing workplace ergonomics and posture, especially as it plays a role in determining and enhancing your productivity and wellness. And my guest in the studio just shared some of those things. Check with your employer. Is there anything in place? And what kind of chairs do you have? What kind of tables are you using? There are tables which are adjustable. There are chairs which are adjustable, and so many other things. We'll be getting into that. And let me read a couple of things out here. This one is from Johnny in Suhum. Thanks, Johnny. Could one have waist problems just because they're quite tall? Not because of ergonomics. Me wadada. I'm tall. Therefore, could that be a cause of waist problems? Good afternoon. I'm Kunedu from Lakeside Estates. I was experiencing some pains on the left thigh. So when I went through an MRI, the doctor told me I'm having disc bulge due to an accident. How can she help? I guess they're asking how you can help. Now, if you can take a note of that, I have quite a couple. Let me see if I can clear them. Nortey, good afternoon to you and your guests. I have issues with my spine and spondylitis, and it has affected how I walk. I was referred to a chiropractic, but the changes were too much. I don't want to mention the amounts to scare people. Oh, charges were too much, not changes. Charges were too much. I don't want to mention the amounts to scare people, though, but ask your guest the cost for a visit and the duration of treatment. This is Big Mus Wallace. Clarissa Big Mus Wallace, Sakumono Estates. Okie dokie. She's talking about costs, and she has a problem she's mentioned as well. I think the military should consider. Scroll down. I think the military should consider employing a chiropractor at the military hospital because of the physicals or the physical training they go through. Okay, trouble coming. No, they'll lock us. I'm thinking of going. No, sorry. Good afternoon. I think it's Nortey. I see North there. Please, I've been having neck and back pains for some time now. I suspect it could be the way I sleep. For some time, I haven't been lying on a mattress. Could this be the cause? And will getting a new mattress stop the pain? I'm thinking of going to the physio to have a massage, but I want to know if it will be enough. All right, now I'm going to come back to these things so that we can go through them.
Okay.
Let me just read as many as I can. This is Fred from Community 24. Dr. Na, I had my MRI 4 years ago and I was diagnosed of disc herniation. And the doctor suggested a surgery. That scared me. Now my lower back and neck is paining. That's what is written here. And numbness, I experienced numbness on my right leg for all these years. Please, do I have any hope of improvement when I visit your clinic? Okay, the clinic seems open on Joy 99.7 FM. Hello, I sleep on an orthopedic spring foam mattress. I normally sleep on my right arm. I am 49, my weight is 62 kilograms, height 164 centimeters, pulse 86, BP 116/84. And the BP fluctuates to around 120/90. I don't see any issues there. I am on 30 milligrams. Okay, he's on nifedipine daily. When I stop taking it, I feel some numbness in my right arm. Could my sleeping posture be the cause of this numbness in my right arm? Well, you say you sleep on your right arm. This is Kweku from Mampong. And let me see if I can read the last one, and then we can take some responses and get back to giving out our tips. So we're running out of time. Oh, there's a picture or a photo. All right. Okay, so now let me go back to the one before that. Sleeping on my right arm, MRI and all those things, on BP medication, but still gets pain and numbness in the neck and on the right leg.
Okay, so that comes back to the posture issue we were talking about earlier,
Okay.
Nortey. So sleeping posture is very important.
All right.
If you're continuously sleeping on your right side, it can cause some spinal misalignments and cause pain, the numbness, the tingling sensation down
Okay.
the arm, and so on and so forth. So we recommend that if it is possible, if you cannot sleep on your back, which is the best sleeping posture,
Sleep on your back.
sleeping on your back,
All right.
with a pillow on the back of your head. And if you have a lot of lower back pain, you can put another pillow under your knees.
Okay.
So that is the best sleeping posture. However, some people find that more uncomfortable, so would recommend sleeping on the side. Now, when you do the side sleeping, it is essential that you alternate. You cannot always sleep on your right or always sleep on your left. You need to switch.
So now
from side
sleeping
to
is
side.
skilled labor.
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
goodness.
Because otherwise, you end up with problems like the gentleman mentioned. And if you see disc problems or spinal problems, they slowly get worse.
Okay.
So if you do it, once or twice, no problem. But if it's a habit and you continue to maintain that bad posture,
Right.
then slowly the degeneration continues and then your symptoms get worse.
Okie
And it
dokie.
may have started with pain, but then as the disc bulges more, then it turns into the numbness, the tingling, and the burning sensation, and so on and so forth.
Okie dokie. There's one that says the one who had an MRI and was
Yes.
diagnosed with disc herniation, and a surgery was recommended.
Right.
They didn't do it 4 years ago, and now they have lower back pain, etc. What?
So I don't know how severe his disc bulges are, but I can say confidently that all the research is showing majority of spinal problems can be treated conservatively.
Right.
There's only about 5% of the population who absolutely need surgery.
Right.
So if you have back pain, neck pain, most of the time, and especially if you treat it earlier than later, most of the time you can use conservative care. Conservative care being chiropractic care, massage therapy, physiotherapy, non-surgical spinal decompression,
Right.
some therapeutic exercises. All that is conservative.
Okay.
So if you catch it early and you're seeing a professional early, then you are at a better chance of treating it naturally than going under the knife.
All right. If you just joined us, this is Joy 99.7 FM. The program is Ultimate Health with me, Nortey, by nature. I'm in the studio with chiropractic physician, Dr. Nashele Dodo of the Nova Wellness Center. We're looking at workplace ergonomics and posture and how they impact on your productivity and well-being. But based on the messages we're receiving, we've also already opened clinic. I'm hoping we can switch back quickly to workplace or capture her again. Please, I've been having neck pain and back pains for some time now. I suspect it could be the way I sleep. For some time now, I have not been lying on a mattress. Could this be the cause? And will getting a new mattress stop the pain? I am also thinking of going to the physio to have a massage. Will this rectify anything?
I would strongly recommend that they get an evaluation done before going in to see a massage therapist or go in for any other treatment. A lot of the times people just say, oh, it's a little ache or pain, but that ache or pain is a sign that there's something wrong. So instead of just covering the symptoms up, you need to have a full evaluation done. Is it a spinal problem? Is it a muscle problem?
Right.
Then you could go to the
Who
right
should be doing this
professional.
evaluation?
You could be evaluate if it's musculoskeletal problems like the back pain, neck pain, headaches. I would recommend seeing a chiropractor. Because like I said, all the research is showing that conservative care is more effective for treating these illnesses. Because you may take, somebody said they are taking nifedipine, I think. You may take some painkillers, you may take certain drugs to reduce the pain, but that doesn't solve the problem. So the pain is still there. Maybe some painkillers, pain goes down, but eventually as the medication wears out, you start to feel the symptoms again. So you want to correct these structural problems that may be causing the pain so that you don't have to depend on medication. So chiropractors, physical therapists, some massage therapists who have been trained to look at the body as a whole. We like to use posture. We like to do posture screens. We like to look at x-rays to tell us how the spine is looking, and based on that we're able to recommend treatment.
Okay, right. I'm going to activate the phone lines now, 0302216541, so you can speak to Miss Na, Dr. Na, yourself. She's a chiropractor and the CEO of Nova Wellness Center. You can find them in the Ringway Estates on the next road from the Country Kitchen. Right, lovely place, lovely people, and they're doing lovely stuff as well. My phone line is active now, 0302216541. You can get in touch with me, Nortey by nature, and more importantly, with my guest. Good afternoon. Please, I'm Kunedu from Lakeside Estates. I was experiencing some pains on the left thigh, so I went through an MRI. The doctor told me I'm having disc bulge due to an accident. How can the chiropractor help?
So accidents, unfortunately, though it may have been a long time ago, can still continue to cause this type of pain in different parts of your body. So if you got a disc bulge from an accident which has not been addressed, that particular joint has not been looked at, then yes, it is likely it would continue to bulge and cause more nerve irritation, which would lead to the thigh burning or having pain sensations in that area. So again, I would strongly recommend sooner than later go in, have an evaluation done so that they can look at your disc areas that are bulging, look at the vertebrae. If there are any misalignments in those areas, it can be looked at. And I would recommend seeing a chiropractor for those issues.
Okay, 47 minutes past the hour of 2. My phone lines are active, 0302216541. WhatsApp is 055 1111 997. And the station, of course, is Joy 99.7 FM. Program is Ultimate Health, your ultimate guide to healthy living. This and every Sunday, 2:05. We are indeed alive with all the current, unassailable, precise, up-to-date health information. Today we opted to talk about managing workplace ergonomics and posture, and you have diligently diverted us into an open back pain clinic, but that's all well and good. And some of these could be actually related to your work posture as well. So we're doing due diligence, and the rates now at which these are flowing on the WhatsApp, we're going to get into trouble. But let me see if we can do a few more. Great job, but I wish you bring her back next week. What advice do you have for companies who don't advise employees to do checkups at least twice in a year? And is it about the sitting or the chairs we sit on? Douglas from DC. He's taking a very militant role. He wants to know, right, that I will assure that you are coming back next week. Douglas, please, this woman, she's above me, but I'll try. Okay, and then he's asking about companies. Where is it now? Great job, bring her back. What advice do you have for companies who don't advise employees to have assessments periodically, at least twice a year, he says? And is it just about the chairs we sit on, right? He's trying to bring us back on track to what we set out to discuss. Good afternoon, Nortey. Oops. Come on, click, click, click. Yep. Good afternoon, Nortey. It's unfortunate, but most of our employers don't care about ergonomics. I work at a financial institution where we sit most of the time, and requesting for a simple good chair is like you're asking for gold. Currently, my chair always slips down when I sit on it. It's an adjustable chair, but it's faulty. I even went to buy my own chair, but they will not allow it. This has been going on for months now. It's a sad situation, and she's also called Na. What do you want to say to Na? I have a caller on the line. What do you say to that?
So I'm very sorry to hear this, Na, but unfortunately, especially our financial institutions, I have to say that I hear this almost every day in my clinic. So we need to take better care of our employees and provide the structural frame at least, and then the employees can take up the rest.
All right.
But
okay.
Unfortunately, it's common.
Well, I have a caller on my line. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Winston Bachman. I'm calling from Spintex.
Right, Winston, shoot.
Yes, I just want to know where the clinic is. I've been experiencing some. Okay, I'm about 50 years. I've been experiencing some backaches frequently. So I just want to be sure of it and then come and see the doctor.
All right, I'll let Na give directions and a contact number quickly. That was Winston. Says he's been experiencing back aches. Na, hey, sorry, I said Na. I'm addicted to Na now. Dede in Maryland. Dede, how are you doing? Hope you're safe. Growing up, we were always told to stand straight, whatever that meant, for good posture. This has caused misalignment with some people having their fronts pushed forward and their butt backwards with a curvature in between. So is this a straight posture? Dede wants to know. I have a call on the line. Hello.
Hello, Nortey. I hope you're doing well.
Good afternoon. Is this Ajiman?
I don't just in Tema.
Yes, Ajingo. Shoot. Share with us.
Yeah, it's a great topic. Recently, a friend of mine who is just told me that I should help her with a new chair because the one she was using, which was adjustable, is spoiled, and the new one is giving her back pain. I think the advice for companies to undergo this ergonomics exercises is that by the end of the year, you have a lot of workers falling sick. You are going to spend enough on their hospital bills. You replace them with qualified workers, you pay them. And those at home, you also pay them. So if you get an ergonomist to help you to avoid all these sickness and diseases, I think the company will get profits.
Right.
So it's a great topic. It's a great idea.
Right. Thank you, Ajingo, the man from Tema, Community 8, I think. And he always has a female friend who has an issue. Ajingo, I'm kidding. I beg.
That's a very good point he made,
Yep.
Nortey. And especially now, I just wanted to add, a lot of people are working from home.
Okay.
This is extremely important because since people have been working from home, I feel like I'm seeing more and more people at the clinic. And I think there's a correlation because people are doing all sorts of things at home, sitting on the floor, working on their beds.
I teach online, and sometimes I only see the students' feet.
Exactly.
They're
So
lying on a bed and so many other things.
And so these things, and I think working from home is something that has come to stay. So like I said in the beginning, if this is how you're going to be working, you need to, even if you're at home, you need to create an office space.
Okay.
And when I say an office space, you may not necessarily need a high-end ergonomic chair.
Right.
You can still use your dining table chair, but you need to make a few modifications to make it suitable for your work.
Okay.
And I think that's another topic on its own.
All right.
We might have to do working from home at some point. But this is something that
So long as
employers...
we'll present the program from your house, that's fine.
That's fine. But employers should definitely look
right.
at how their employees are working at home as
Okay,
well.
okay. There was something about Bolt and Uber drivers and something about
Yes,
charges, right? I'll
yes.
come back to you. I have a caller on the line. Hello.
Hello,
Good afternoon, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Takadi. My name is Mauli.
Mauli, you're welcome.
Yeah, please. My wife underwent CS about 9 months ago. As of now, she's complaining of back pain where the anesthesia was given. But she went to see a physiotherapist in one of the facilities. And
Okay.
she said they were supposed to change the mattress or something like that. But then we've changed the mattress and she's still complaining about the pain in her back where the anesthesia was introduced during the cesarean session. So I'd like to know if there's anything wrong with that or we need to go back to the hospital.
Okie dokie. In regards to the baby, he also has something to say about that back pain. Right. So his wife had cesarean section and is complaining post-CS of pain at the site where the anesthesia was administered. And they've had some varying advice. She still has the pain. They've changed the mattress. Anything else we can tell them?
So there are two things that could have happened apart from the injection site. Having a child and even the labor process, giving birth, actually puts a lot of stress on the mother's spine. So sometimes even after birth, it takes a while before your spine will go back to its normal self, and all your muscles and ligaments also become stronger again. So
Okay.
that could be causing pain. I have also seen people who have complained about the pain point being exactly where the injection was given. And sometimes, the nerves there become a bit irritated. And so it may take some time to get those
9
nerves.
months post CS.
Did he say 9 months?
9 months on, yeah.
9 months on,
Yeah.
okay. So what I would recommend is seeing a chiropractor who can look to see if there's any wear and tear or degeneration or anything that
Okay.
could be causing any further degeneration in that area,
Okay.
so that it can be treated.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Good. 55 minutes. We have 5 minutes till touchdown ground zero. Let's touch on the charges. Let's touch on Bolt
The
and
drivers.
Uber, and see if we can wrap up and come back next week. Definitely. I'm not even asking you. I'm telling you. Right. Yes.
All right. So the drivers, yes, not only Uber and Bolt, but even our long distance drivers.
That's right.
The STC buses, all those drivers. That's a whole other topic. So
Okay.
what I recommend, simple things. Get a small pillow, the type that we put in our couches at home. Put it in the curve of your lower back.
Okay.
That will force you to sit up straight.
All right.
Because we realize that they kind of cave in when they're driving, and so that puts a lot of stress on the spine.
Okay.
By the time they get down, they start to have pain, and again, over a long period of time.
Okay.
So put a pillow there. That alone forces you to be more upright and takes pressure off your disc in your back.
Right.
And then also, as much as possible, when you stop, you need to get down. You need to take a break. If it's
walk
if you're
around.
doing a long distance, at least every 2 hours, you need to stop, get down from the car, stretch your legs. It's even good for your circulation.
Okay.
Apart from the pain, this is also important to keep blood flowing.
Right. They said that growing up we're told to stand straight and which one is the correct posture? Because it's ended up with people pushing their upper parts forward and then their bum backwards, and then the whole thing has, as we'll say in local parlance, cheered.
Yes.
Is that correct?
So I find that maybe those in the services, so the military men
All right.
and the policemen, usually over time develop that type of posture where their heads are forward and chest is out, and in Ghana we'll say etieming.
Okay.
So the back is kind of caved. I think that's what she's talking about. So that's the real extreme.
Okay.
Most people do not end up with that posture, except for the people in the services. So what I'll say is, yes, it's important to keep an upright spine, but don't overdo it. You don't need to stretch your butt all the way out,
Okay.
but you need to keep your spine straight,
Right.
so that everything keeps remains
Okie
in alignment.
dokie. Is it expensive?
It's not expensive. I always tell people that the cost of not treating these problems early is what is expensive.
Right.
It's not our treatment.
Okay.
Because if you don't do mind treatment now, and God forbid,
Your back
you
starts
leave
giving you
it.
doom so.
So it gets really bad, and unfortunately you need surgery. That is
Right.
what is expensive, and not what we do.
Okie dokie. Telework has come to stay. This is from the day in Maryland. Working from home, I had to invest in a telescoping desk and chair where I can alternate between sitting and standing whilst
Yep.
working. Also, a Swiss ball, big fitness ball, and a pedaling and vibrating device under my desk for my feet.
Yep.
I've had to do that because I've had a blood clot before, right? DVT,
Yep.
right? This is from Dede. Thanks for sharing that, Dede, old boy. You know, all right. But it's good to share some of these things. And the Chinese have this rolling pin with all these things that you roll with your feet, and it helps circulation and a few other
You can
things.
even get just a simple tennis ball.
Okay.
That's what I tell my patients. Just put the tennis ball under your foot whilst you're working, and just be rolling your
Rolling
foot
it.
under it.
All right.
Yeah. So we didn't even get to do the tips, Nortey.
That's how we are on Joy. You see, when you have a dial of distinction and discernment and discerning listeners, Charlie, it's not easy, but it's been
Yes.
awesome having you.
Thank you.
And the last thing I'll ask is for your contact and directions to Nova Wellness.
Sure.
And then next week we'll go into the proper dissection of the workplace
Okay.
and the tips that we need to adhere to guarantee productivity and wellness.
Okay.
Right.
All right,
Nova
Nortey.
Wellness.
So we're located in Ringway Estates, the road after the Country Kitchen Road. If you're going towards Osu Cemetery,
Okay.
it's right there. So you see the signboards around Nova Wellness Center. Our phone number is 026 995 20 77.
Okay.
And you can also get us on all the social media handles at Nova Wellness Center.
All right. Then as somebody will say, Google it. Google it.
Yes,
You can
that
Google
one
it.
too.
And you get the location, right? So if you're coming up from the old, was it a cemetery or mausoleum kind of thing at Ringway, and you just take your immediate right and immediate left, they are on that road. You can't miss it, as the British would say. Many thanks to you, Miss Na, Dr. Na. Ashili Dodo. She's a chiropractic physician and CEO in charge of the Nova Wellness Center. We'll hit on this again. Are we sitting right? Our workstations well configured, and is it enhancing and promoting wellness and productivity? Thanks for joining us on Ultimate Health, Joy 99.7 FM, produced by Abeku Sankofi and presented by the Foot Soldier, me, myself, Nortey by nature. Stick and stay. I've got the sports guys breathing down my neck. It means something is going down. So don't go anywhere. Stick and stay. Lock it on Joy 99.7 FM. I'm out of here.